to Anime Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that has never had an American adaptation.
Welcome back. We are Whiskey Women. We are going to be talking about everything that is on Pinterest, all my favorite projects, what makes something epic bacon.
Yeah, we're switching gears. Anime is a dead end culturally, and is a point of discussion.
I wouldn't have called this podcast Anime Death Spiral if I thought anime had a future. Okay, that's all I'm saying. We had to move past anime. Now we are doing exclusively 90s action movies that were direct-to-video, starring Van Damme or Van Damme adjacent martial artists. That's it.
That's anybody who's a Van Peeble, a Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger's actually too high.
He's too big. He's too big.
You know, Dolph Lundgren almost was too big. Like, he almost got too big.
Higher end.
Yeah, he is definitely higher end.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched that movie Van Damme, but it was actually, like, exactly about that concept. It's like a meta movie about, like, Van Damme, the movie star, gets into a Van Damme-like situation and has to fight his way out.
Isn't that the premise of that Nick Cage movie that just came out?
Yeah, kind of. Except Nick Cage doesn't fucking do high kicks. He can't do the splits to save his fucking life.
He would if he could, you know.
So would I. Of course I would. I would do that all
Listen,
day.
he is willing and the effort is there. He's older, okay?
If I could do the splits like Van Damme, I know every anime podcast has already talked about this, so I'm sorry for repeating ourselves for the umpteenth time, but if I could do the splits, I would do it in line, like at the grocery store. I would do it before I got my hair cut. I would do it at the bank. I would be doing it all the time. It's so cool.
You don't want to be seen as a show off.
I do want to be seen as a show off.
Uncle Ben, that shit. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility of showing off constantly and entertaining the people.
I'm imagining Spider-Man now, but like instead of spider powers, he just does the splits.
Well, that's not the best part. There's only like 30 seconds of good Spider-Man in all of the new Marvel movies.
There's about like 40 pages of good Spider-Man in like 104 years of comics.
Well, let's keep it to the last 30, okay? All right. The 30 seconds of good Marvel Spider-Man are when that guy goes, do a flip! And he does the flip, and it's like, that's cool. That's fucking cool, because he's showing off. That's the best part of all of those. I can't even think of another part of those movies that I actually enjoy. Wait, hold on a second.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Is there a single moment from any of the others?
That first Remy movie is...
I'm not talking because I like those.
Oh, you're specifically talking about the Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Okay, all right.
And Andrew Garfield, if we're being honest, because those movies also fucking sucked.
Well, I mean, if we're being technical, which I think that we are allowed to be on a podcast that nobody listens to, they are all together now in one conglomerate verse.
Yes, we are now reaching the event horizon for all comic book movies, especially with the Flash.
You know, there is nothing that makes Western comics and movies and cartoons immune to the anime death spiral.
No. Well, okay. So in the toilet bowl of comics, they have reached the drain, so to speak, much faster than the anime, because like Flashpoint, that was the Flash combining all universes into one, and
one of many events that comics have done over the years.
But that's like the one they're doing for the new Flash movie, right? Because the old ass Batman is in it.
Dude, we gotta be the only people that are talking about the actual plot of that movie and not everything.
And not that
everything
fucking
else.
That fucking creep being in it.
Yeah. Okay, alright, we got the contractually obligated reference to real world stuff in there.
Are we supposed to say alleged?
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I don't know if any of the lawsuits went through. I think maybe to cover our ass.
Yeah, alleged creep.
Wait, where was this going?
I don't know where it was going, but
Okay, well, let's talk about anime for a second, at least.
well, I was gonna say we tie back in because there's a lot of it's no secret that there's been many attempt over the years to do Western like Hollywood remakes of anime in movies, and one time a series
Once.
yeah, the Cowboy Bebop series. We were trying to think of other like anime that have been adapted into full
Well, live action television.
yeah, live
yes.
action American television series.
Difficult to think of.
But, yeah.
Couldn't think of another one.
If you know any out there, please let us know.
Yeah. Hold on, but let's talk about a cartoon for like at least a couple seconds.
Okay, all right.
Just to kind of maintain the theme
yes.
of the podcast.
I'm getting overexcited for the main topic of today's discussion.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back. Let's reel it back a little bit. I'm just gonna take a little.
He's gonna nip. He's gonna nip, and then we're gonna tuck back into a little bit of anime discussion because recently there's been like a lot of remakes, reboots. The reboot remake wave has hit anime. It has. It really has.
Oh yeah.
And
Happening for a couple of years now too.
Yes, but because we don't really care about anything at all
Well,
in life.
I'm a horrible hermit, curmudgeonly
Yes.
old miser man.
Yeah, we are insanely cynical about everything, and we kind of hate anything that brings like young people joy.
Yeah.
And older people than us too. Gen X people should also be suffering. We enjoy when they suffer. That's why we liked that Clerks 3 came out. Because fuck.
No,
you
I
people.
like that happened.
I like that dude gets work. I like it actually.
Very cool and awesome that Kevin Smith is still making movies. I love that.
He does have the best tweet of all time. Yeah, do you know the one I'm talking
No,
about?
which
I'm
one?
not gonna bring it up. It is very raunchy. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it, but it is very funny. The point being, I watched the Trigun reboot, a hard reboot.
Yeah, and independently of this discussion and topic, I watched the at least the first couple episodes of the Urusei Yatsura reboot.
And I think we're gonna have a hard split here because I've heard good things about Urusei Yatsura, and I hated Trigun. I hated it.
Well, let's were you a fan of the original series?
Not only was I a fan, even though I do think if you go back and watch it, the animation is real spotty. It dips in and out of like watchable to unwatchable, episode to episode.
There's
Scene to
some
scene.
there's some
There's some great animation.
some
there's
great
bad
animation. Yes, it ranges the whole scope.
It is very 90s in that way.
It crosses the spectrum of what they could do on the budget.
Yes, but ultimately I do like Trigun Classic, Vanilla Trigun.
Yeah.
Also, I enjoy the manga. There's a pretty long-running manga as well. Yasukiro Naito himself,
I'm
the man.
less familiar with the manga, but is there a difference? Is Trigun Maximum a separate thing?
It's just more of the same.
It's just more of the same?
Yeah. And then there's also the anthology by guest not animators, guest artists,
Guest manga animators.
and that is fantastic because it's great to see other people draw in that style. It's fun. The stories are fun. Trigun lends itself very well to that because it is just fucking Wagon Wheel or fucking Shane or whatever. It's
Gunsmoke.
It is Gunsmoke. It is just the absolute most fucking stereotypical Western. Not stereotypical in a bad way, just that's
fun.
what it is.
Like Trigun is in terms of fun levels, that's like a solid 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 fun.
Westerns kick ass.
Yeah.
Shane kicks ass. Westerns kick ass. Everybody loves Westerns. They're really, really fun. Everybody who's making shit now is just using one of 3 templates. They're either making a Western, they're making a crime noir, or they're just making a fucking historical epic. Those are like the only 3 movies that exist now. And Trigun happens to fall in the Western category, which, of the three,
Yeah.
I think is more my style.
Well, it lends itself to the episodic kind of moseying format.
It's a cool guy. He shows up in town.
He's got a big coat.
He fucks up some creeps.
Yeah.
And moves on. It's like fucking cool. Every time like some lady falls in love with him, he's like, baby, my life is too dangerous for you.
Well, I don't know. I think the thing about Vash is that he is like aggressively asexual.
Yes, though in Vash's case, unlike a lot of anime protagonists, it's unclear where Vash even has genitals. So,
Yeah,
like
he's not human. Like spoilers for the series. He's like a plant, like some kind of strange electricity producing plant.
it's
man.
okay, Vash. It can't affect you. You're not human. It's canonical that he is a Ken doll basically.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, which I appreciate. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Does that make him a classic stoic?
If you've been gelded, it really takes you halfway there.
Yeah.
It makes less sense in the classic westerns where it's like a fucking handsome ass dude who has nothing to do, nowhere to go, beautiful women throwing themselves at him, and he's just like, nah, baby, having sex, beautiful romantic sex with beautiful women just ain't my style. And then he gets on his horse and rides off into the desert. It's like, what? I don't understand what just happened.
Damn, another town ruined.
Yeah.
Gotta move on.
Gotta move on, baby. Trigun does not suffer from that problem.
No.
Luckily. The problem with new Trigun is that even in the first 3 episodes, we clearly see that something is off because he doesn't move on from town.
Okay,
He,
before we get into the narrative of it,
Okay,
let me pick your
sorry.
brain on kind of the major aspect of it.
Sure.
Let's not gloss over the fact that this is fully CG animated with
Yes.
computer animated puppet models. No hand has gone near any ink.
A lot of wrists have been broken, but they've been broken by those
Trackballs.
Trackballs are those weird stand-up mice.
Yeah,
Mouses?
a joystick.
Yeah, the weird joystick things that they say are better for you. And now that I'm getting a lot of carpal tunnel, I have to maybe consider whether they're right or not.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't start with that is because while I did think in the promos that was going to be a problem, that was not the problem. For me, at least, I didn't think about it even.
Well, how much of it did you
all.
watch?
I watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay,
Maybe
all right.
the 4th one. I really can't remember. It all blended together.
Okay, all right.
Because I was really not enjoying it.
That's a decent amount. That's enough to get a good feel.
I got a flavor for it.
Yeah.
I got what they were going for.
You got the taste on your tongue.
I only continued after the first episode because I wanted to see if they were going to do classic Trigun, and they did. The third episode has the brothers, the big one and the small one. I can't remember what they're called.
Sure, the mad scientist dude and his giant freakish brother.
His giant freakish brother, or maybe his son.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to think like.
Well, I watched a couple different translations of that show. I don't know which was the official. I think they were brothers.
They called themselves a family.
Yes.
That's a family.
Yeah, that's a family.
A big guy and a little guy, that's a family.
Yeah, it's the most basic of families.
It's the most basic of families. It's the coupling of the ages. And the thing is, they brought those characters back, but changed in very weird ways. Like, for one thing, they are defeated in the episode, but they are, like, redeemed as good guys.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, in a very weird way. And in fact, Vash saves them from being lynched by the villagers.
Okay.
Which is like, I don't hate that change, but I was interested to see if they were going to get into classic Trigun shenanigans, and they decided to do that, but in a vastly metamorphized form that I wasn't feeling. I didn't get good vibes off of it. Vash is a very strange character in this new one. Obviously, they changed his look up. People hated it. I didn't really care that much about it.
I didn't care so much about the look, although I'm not a fan of the glasses. or the haircut.
Sure, the haircut's dumb.
You see, I didn't watch any of it. You watched the episodes.
I watched the episode.
I saw the trailer and saw that they gave the character Vash's evil twin brother. His name is Millions Knives.
Yes.
For some reason, they gave him the superpower of 1,000,000 knives.
Well, okay, yes, you have been harping on this for quite a while. I do want to point out, in at least the first 3 or 4 episodes, they never make clear that his last name is Millions. It's just, he only ever gets addressed as Knives. We don't know whether the number of knives is accurate, canonical to the original series. We have no idea. I think in the original series he had like 3 knives, maybe. I don't know.
He didn't have any knives.
He must have had 1.
No, he had no knives in the series. And in fact, you only see him a couple times. His only weapon is he has a copy of Vash's, like, what do they call it? The Angel Arm. The Angel Arm gun.
Yes, he has a revolver.
Yeah, he has the evil version of it.
The evil revolver.
Yeah.
Oh, as opposed to Vash's good guy revolver.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like, come on, that's how Westerns work.
Yes, the repeating revolver, yes.
Well, I mean, that's kind of one of my favorite details in a lot of this stuff is kind of denoting character personalities with what kind of gear they have. You know, it's a very Metal Gear Solid thing.
Sure,
right?
Sure. What weapon you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you an ocelot that likes to trick shoot with a revolver? I am.
Yeah, or are you a snake who has stuffed multiple missile launchers and machine guns and pistols
He's all
into
the guns.
his pants?
Snake is all the guns.
Yeah, he's just, you know what? He's everything.
Well, I mean, we're getting off track here.
The point being that this is one of these reboots, and for me, it's kind of emblematic of the reboot trend itself, in that it is a lot of people who have a lot of excitement for the original. I, again, loathe myself for calling it an IP.
It's a intellectual property.
I don't like that at all, and I feel like I'm losing something by calling it that.
You are. You're giving in. You're giving in to their hate language.
Yes, I know. It's a slur, but for, like, artistic achievement. Their IP. It's a lot of like people who are very enthusiastic about Trigun Original, but they don't think about really what they would like Trigun to be in the modern age. What they think about, I think, is how can we smooth Trigun so that it's like easier for a new audience, and so like. Everything is very slick. The characters are all, ironic for characters like in Trigun, which are already very, very simple, like very 2D, not a pun.
Well, it sounds like what you're describing to me is that this reboot is very much coming via a corporate lens. There's no.
Well,
would you say that there's any kind of like actual vision or drive behind what they were making?
I think there is a vibe that they were feeling like, but I think the vibe is, hey, like, I really like Trigun, and that's not enough. And I feel a lot of enthusiasm and passion, from people who are trying their best to do a 3D version of a cartoon.
This ironically feels like a Netflix American remake directed by a dude who really liked the original Trigun.
Yeah. I mean, I wish either one of us had actually ponied up and watched Cowboy Bebop so that we could like maybe talk about that comparison.
Yeah.
But I do get the Cowboy Bebop vibe off of it, like somebody who like can't really pull off.
I thought of one other series.
Oh my god, what is it?
Voltron, the Netflix Voltron cartoon.
But we were talking about live action.
Okay, live action. Live action.
That's the prize.
If that's the prize, then no, it's just the Cowboy Bebop.
Who fucking knows? Anyway, the thing about
I thought that was a good pull.
The Trigun thing it's fine. It's perfectly fine. The Trigun thing is that it's an adaptation. It is somebody taking something that is precious to them and also precious to a lot of people, and instead of saying, how can I change this in a meaningful way and make it my own, they say, how can I smooth it while maintaining what people liked about it to begin with. And I think ultimately that attempt is always going to be doomed to fail because, like, you are hacking away at the thing, smoothing the edges off that were the interesting part to begin with. And ultimately, you are always going to be creating your own work, whether you want to or not. So if you don't give yourself over to it and, like, do it how you want to fucking do it, do something new and original, you are just going to make Trigun Stampede, which is just fucking soup. It's fucking broth. It's Trigun broth.
Okay, all right, yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I had a bad time.
If that is the case, then I'm going to take another
A little nip.
little nippy dip there
Yeah.
and bring it back around because I watched the first 3 episodes of the Urusei Yatsura
Yes.
remake, and I had a great time.
Yes, this is the creator of Ranma One Half,
Yeah.
Rumiko Takahashi.
Yes. Thank you. I
Yes.
was about to choke on
You
that
were about
one.
to embarrass
I was about to
yourself.
pull a real David Carradine on that one.
That was going to be bad. Also the author of A Mermaid's Tale, which
Yes.
is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
And I, unlike you with Trigun, I do not have much of a background with the original series or the original manga.
Or anything, Rumiko Takahashi, because you told me you never watched Ranma either.
That is true.
Yeah.
I never did that one.
Wild.
It passed over me. You know,
Absolutely wild.
I came in to anime very much from the animated side of things. It wasn't until much later that I started getting into manga, and by the time I did, the chance to really dip into that one had passed me by in a natural way.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because it is one of those things where, like, I swear to God, there are probably like 600 episodes of Ranma. It seems statistically impossible not to have seen, like, even a couple minutes of Ranma.
Well, you know, I was watching Toonami, and that's like
Sure.
that's like the one suburban middle class white kid way to get anime.
Sure.
Unless you're looking for it in those early YouTube days where they had like one episode split over 3 videos.
I had, yeah, you know, I had tapes. I had VHS tapes.
I'm sure I could have got into it, but by that point I was spending all my time watching Naruto
Sure.
on YouTube.
Yeah. Much better use of your time.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
So, you know, up to this point, my most of my experience with Urusei Yatsura was watching the English dub of the second TV movie that they made when it appeared on the Asian network on my local cable.
Right. Right. And also everybody constantly being horny for it.
Well, sure.
All over the internet.
I mean, once you start really dipping into anime, you see Lum appear pretty much.
I mean,
universally next to like Bulma and and Girl Ranma.
I would say even more so. I think Lum is like, for whatever reason, has just really taken that slot.
What, Lum and Morrigan. And so I saw the thumbnail art, and it was neon and bright and fun and eye-catching, so I thought I'd give it a try. And the show is all of those things. I mean, there's not much to talk about, because it's a classic.
Well, okay, here, why don't you talk about this? Because one of the interesting things about Trigun Remake is that it is a staple 90s show being made into like a Gen Z appropriate version. And Urusei Yatsura and Rumiko Takahashi, for the most part, is like early 90s, late 80s style, and bringing a late 80s anime into the modern day is a really weird thing.
Well, the manga that it's based off of, the Urusei Yatsura manga, is like very early 80s. I
Yeah.
would say maybe even like late 70s, like 79.
Yeah, so like
Even-
how much of that vibe
Don't
did
quote
they
me on
capture?
that. Don't quote me on that detail, but it's around that era, and so it's like it's bringing this very early 80s boner comedy sensibilities,
Yeah.
trying to bring it into modern, and they get around the humps of doing that by just not trying to update it at all. It's just a boner comedy.
But what about the actual trappings itself? Like, see, because I don't know anything about it. Like, do they try to update the setting at all?
No, it's 80s. It's 80s.
They are in the 80s.
They're in 80s
Okay.
Japan.
That is really interesting to me.
Yeah. They're in 80s Japan, but
Okay.
they've basically turned the contrast up on
Sure.
on everything.
Yeah.
Designs are very bright. They're doing kind of like it's a very defined HD, crystalline type adaptation of the
Sure.
art style.
Sure, there's city pop everywhere.
They're city popping off.
They're
City popping off the
off.
chain.
We got some plastic love that's bumping in every fucking scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I cannot stress that the bright colors are like a good portion of the enjoyment, because you do not see a lot of anime using this style. It's hard to explain, but they are doing a very much like, 80s like neon sign highlights.
Sure. It's like
kind of
one of
aesthetic.
those. It's one of those weird caterpillars that is pulsating neon lights.
Yeah.
And just hypnotizes you into a state of euphoria.
It's like a gamer computer.
Yeah.
And to the credit, I did go and read the first few chapters of the manga up to the episodes that I watched.
Sure.
And it is like an incredibly faithful adaptation.
Okay.
It's just straight page to screen.
Dope.
Which is, it's funny, but again, most of it is like, most of the humor is derived from the main character being like a perv and a bad boyfriend and just kind of like an awful person to be around.
Yeah.
But everyone treats him kind of like, oh, you rascally, you rascally perv, you.
Ah, you dog.
Yeah, you dog.
These boys are they're just being boys. It's the boys.
The series starts with him getting yelled at by his girlfriend because he's always flirting with other girls in front of her.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. And then the ogre aliens. It's unclear. In the manga, at least the translation that I read, it explicitly referred to them as oni. So, ogres.
Sure.
The Japanese word for ogre demon. In several translations of the anime, like that original movie from the 90s that I watched when I was a kid, it referred to Lum as an alien.
I've always heard her referred to as an alien.
And they do come to Earth in a flying saucer.
Okay, so that's
But they're all dressed like traditional Japanese, like Shinto.
Yeah.
The Shinto characters.
Sure. Well, that reminds me, I recently read a gender swap comedy about an alien who comes to Earth and turns the first boy he sees into a girl and marries him.
Baller move.
Yeah.
Power move right
I know,
there.
Right? Wow, actually, it's almost like the thorn in the lion's paw thing, because he's like trapped under some rubble after a landslide, and this kid wanders up and he's like, I'll get you out of there, and the guy's like, hey, thanks, zap, you're a chick now, marry me. And he's like, well, I'm really uncomfortable with this, but like, tee-hee.
But I am a chick now.
I am a chick now. I might as well, right? And his own brother gets horny for him. I don't want to get into it, but it's fucking weird. Those 80s that 80s shit is just really fucking bizarre sometimes.
The whole gender swap premise, it always surprises me how easily they are able to get over what I'm assuming is crippling body dysphoria.
I mean, so the thing is, like, it is really like a huge upset in your life to be forcefully gender swapped.
Yeah.
And most of the time, a couple days later, they're like, well,
I guess I just gotta roll with it.
This is just how it is now. I'm gonna try to wear boys' clothes, but you know what? People keep telling me I'm so cute. I'm just gonna fucking go with it. Fuck it. And you know what? I'm jealous. Honestly, that level of self-acceptance, that's goals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's goals.
That I am a consciousness piloting a meat boat.
Hey, yeah, you know what? Whatever the meat and the bone comes in, it's like you still gonna be wrestling with your own bad thoughts. So, in 80s boner comedies like Yurusai Yatsura, like that is kind of one of the big elements where they're like, everybody's just kind of like,
yeah,
well, whatever.
Yeah.
An alien literally comes down to Earth, and she's like, we're gonna conquer Earth, but I'm kind of like horny for you, so...
Well, no, it's more of it is a comedy of errors. You know, they come to Earth, and the big ogre king, the alien king, is like, all right, we're gonna conquer Earth. There's nothing you can do about it because we're so much better than you.
Yeah, they
but
are.
we'll give you one chance if you can send one person to beat us in a competition, a one-on-one competition. We'll leave.
Yeah,
And so
generous.
they have a big global lottery. And of course our main character, the perv, gets chosen as Earth's representative, and he has to face off against the king's daughter, Lum. And I think the game is essentially kind of a dressed up version of tag, where he has to grab her horn, and if he can't do it in a week, then the aliens get to conquer Earth. So, you know,
Weird choice.
lighthearted premise.
Sure.
You know, nothing too serious. And after a week, he is finally able, at the very last second, able to grab her horn by distracting her by accidentally, he trips and he grabs her top and pulls her bikini top
Sure.
off.
Very hard to touch the horn. Very easy to shark her.
Yeah.
Very easy to shark. Now,
We got to watch out for Mike the Shark.
all right, you disgusting human beings.
He was
We're
walking
gonna...
around those 80s movie set, those 90s movie sets.
I've come from very far away from space. I'm gonna basically genocide you disgusting freaky apes. Unless one of you can pull my daughter's top off.
Yes. That's what it boils down to.
Also, I'm gonna be drilling holes in your locker room walls and poking through my eye through them like porkies.
Also, you all have to have sex by the end of the school year.
I'm gonna wear a Darth Vader costume and infiltrate your dorm rooms.
We're gonna put all the nerds in one sorority.
This is why I didn't like Magical Destroyers, because these are people should be liquidated using magma.
Yeah.
Like everyone, this the main character of your site, Sora, all of his porno friends, they should all be destroyed.
He is the horrible perv character from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, I fucking hate them. I really do.
So anyway, he's able to finally grab her horn at the very last second, and during his victory speech, what happens is he gets a last minute boost of energy.
Oh my god.
Because his girlfriend says that she'll marry him if he wins. And in a delirium, talking to himself, he says something like, "Oh, I'm gonna marry you." Well, he grabs the horn.
Great.
And Lum thinks that he's talking to her.
Dope.
And so during his victory acceptance speech, he's like, "All right, you win. I'll marry you." And now we have the premise of the series.
Great. Cool.
Because he has a girlfriend, but also he has a hot alien wife. I wonder who he's going to choose.
Yeah.
The alien princess who has, like, superpowers and is rich.
Hey, bro. Two at the same time, man.
I mean, he is the kind of guy who would need $1 million to get two chicks at the same time.
I literally had to save Earth from, a horrible invasion. And now it's two chicks at the same time, bro.
Well, what I found funny is that Rumiko Takahashi, yeah, I didn't mess it up.
I mean, the pronunciation, but whatever.
Originally, Lum and the aliens were going to be like a one-off gag character, and they were going to do, the Save Earth arc, and then they would move on, and they would just do kind of like a, all right, what's the next wacky situation?
Sure.
That he gets into.
Yeah.
But Lum proved to be such a huge sales boost for the comics.
Green-haired bikini chick.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so surprised.
That after, all right, the aliens are gone, sales for the comic tanked.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, we gotta bring the hot alien back.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! What did he do? Oh no!
The comic is about the hot alien, and she's his live-in girlfriend now.
See, this is why like Ranma was like popular right off the bat, because like you've got two chicks at the same time, but one of them is a dude most of the time who does karate, like flawless, right? Like instant classic right there. No
Wait,
problem.
hold on. Can he not do karate as a chick?
No, he can still do karate. In fact, the other chick does karate too. Basically, everybody does karate. It's pretty dope.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he could do karate better when he was a chick? I bet that comes up.
There are some things he does better as a chick, but the thing is, when he's a chick, he gets really self-conscious about people like pulling his top, sharking him.
Yeah.
Like
That crazy how that keeps coming up.
why does sharking keep coming up in this shit? I don't. It was like a brief fad in the 2010s, but in manga,
2010s.
yeah, I feel like that was kind of the hot moment for sharking.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I always felt that it was a classic move. You know, you do the trip and you pull the they pull the top down.
Oh well, sure, but I mean like sharking as in like an actual objective.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm going out to specifically do this thing.
Oh, like pervy grape head dude from My Hero Academia.
Sure, or like literally like dudes at the beach.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Not my friends, obviously.
No.
I'm
You don't have
talking-
any friends.
I don't have any friends. Even if I tried. Oh God.
Except for you, dear listener.
Except for my dear listener and best friend, obviously, because you listen to this, you are my friend. But you would never shark anybody.
No.
I know confidently, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Anyway, I think we talked our quota of cartoons for children.
Those were
horny
stuff
children.
that were animated images, not people in front of a camera.
Yes, those are the little children's horny cartoons.
Yep.
Out of the way. Let's
I
put
remember
them
I
behind
gotta check in
us.
on my horse girls.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Gotta check in on my horse girls.
Look, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it. What I want to talk about is people, American people on screen, real ones. That's what I want to talk about.
Some may say that's the most anime thing of all.
There's never been anything more anime than Netflix making a bad Death Note movie and everyone hating it. Nothing has been more anime than that. I don't know why, but I'm very confident that that is true. I wanted to talk about these because we just watched together we watched this, Jaws on the Floor.
Well, let's build up to it.
No, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
We watched the 1995 Fist of the North Star American live action. I'm not even calling it a remake. It's like a reimagining.
Yeah, and hoo boy.
What an incredible experience that was. But I want to talk about briefly before we get into how incredible that one was, because we have like kind of unbalanced experiences here, I think. Now I compiled this list, and I want to just go over them one by one.
Sure.
Now I know on pole position.
Between us, we've seen everything on the list.
I think so. Well, let's just run down the list to see. In pole position, there's obviously, speaking of Black Widow, the Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell movie.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I have fond memories of that because you and I went to go see that together in the theater. I'm pretty sure that if we did not start the movie as the only people in the theater, we definitely ended the screening as the only people in the theater.
Yeah, probably.
Because we were being loud, obnoxious jerks and laughing very hard at it.
Look, movies are like $12 now. I'm gonna have a good time. I don't give a fuck. Sorry.
I think it was even better. I think we may have went to one of those saver like $5 nights.
Oh yeah, probably. Well, it wasn't worth more than that. Even if I am one of these people that still enjoys the movie theater experience, I know that makes me.
Listen, we love theaters so much that we went to go see Ghost in the Shell at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
I've seen so many bad movies. I don't regret a single one. That's the God's honest truth.
You'd never regret a movie.
I don't regret seeing Ghost in the Shell. And you know what my favorite part was?
What?
The last 5 minutes where she's wearing that sick-ass fucking poncho. And I was like, I'm going to go home and see if I can buy that poncho. And I can buy that poncho, but it is an actual acronym poncho, and it costs like $1,200.
Well, the drip was heavy.
The drip in that movie is heavy. I mean, it looks great.
I mean,
the movie doesn't look great, but the clothing looks great.
Conceptually, I liked that they put Beat Takeshi in the movie. I thought that was just kind of a funny move. I don't think they were trying to be funny. I don't think he was trying to be funny, even though he's a very funny man.
Sure.
But I do like that he's there inexplicably as the Hayachi-haired old director of the secret robot service.
Yeah, the secret police.
Yeah. Conceptually, what I did not like, probably the biggest thing to talk about with that was that the character of the Major was allegedly like full body whiteface. Is that, I don't know what to call it. Scarlett Johansson is the mind of a Japanese protester that got killed by a mega corporation or the government, maybe. They changed some stuff.
It's inexplicable.
And they put her into the robot body of Scarlett Johansson.
I have a very hard time imagining what anyone was thinking when they were making that movie. Truly baffling. Truly.
I like that I only paid $5 to see it.
I mean, again, I just like going to the movies. I'm simple-minded like that. Okay, next one, Speed Racer. Now, I have locked down. Speed Racer is a fucking masterpiece.
You got a lot of good things to say about Speed Racer.
Speed Racer is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's fantastic. No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
Okay, Wachowskis, you're doing fine.
Even the stupid bad shit in that movie that I don't like.
I've not seen it. You're rolling your eyes at me right now. It's on my Blu-ray shelf. I own it.
Yeah, unbelievable that you own this movie on Blu-ray and you haven't watched it. What a fucking blunder. What an own goal.
Yeah, I know. You've said nothing but good things over the many years that you've been talking about this movie nonstop.
Look, the Wachowskis got more uneven as the years went by. I think we can all admit that. But this one is a fucking hitter, man. It's a heavy hitter. It fucking rolls. It rules.
Well, John Goodman, can't go wrong there.
John Goodman's great. Everybody in the cast is great. There's the one fucking drunk from Lost. He plays Racer X.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's really funny. Because he's just drunk the whole time. It's obvious he's drunk on the set.
Sure.
And you know what? That works for the character, though. It works.
I was a big fan of the dubbed cartoon back in the day when they played it on like Nick at Night or some shit.
Clearly they were too, because like it is very choice.
Yeah.
In what it chooses to leave on the floor and what it chooses to bring in. It's very much what I was talking about Trigun, in that like they knew like they wanted to make it their own, and they knew what they loved about Speed Racer, and they knew what sucked about Speed Racer, and they knew that which elements to combine to make something fresh and original, and they fucking nailed it. Just fucking go watch that. Number 3, we've got Battle Angel Alita. Now this is one that I'm sad to admit I watched the movie before I read the manga.
Yeah, a rare case. Rare case.
Very weird case, because I don't think that's true for like anything else.
I'm unfamiliar with either, so how did Robbie Rodriguez do?
See, he does a very strange thing that I don't appreciate about these movie adaptations, where he wants to remain faithful while also compressing a lot of story into a short amount of time. So he does his best to interweave the first and second arcs into one like comprehensive narrative.
Sure.
And the fact that big emotional beats that set up the second arc occur in the first arc and are now zippered together does not make them work. I still like the fucking movie. I think
you can't
it's cool.
just patch together a narrative like that.
It turns out you can't just cut something up and reorder it like it's a Radiohead song. Like, you can't do that. When it's something as tight as Battle Angel Alita. Well, it's...
Okay, answer me this, because, again...
And also, what's her name is extremely cute. Like, she's great. Like, I love it. No notes.
Chick who plays Alita?
Yeah. She's rocks.
Okay, well, answer me this.
She looks like an alien.
The big eyes thing.
Yeah.
In the manga, and is Alita supposed to have, like, do people comment on her having weird big eyes, or was Robbie just trying to do the anime thing and just being weird about it?
No, he just had a weird fixation on her having big eyes.
Oh, okay, I don't like that.
Also,
I don't like that at all.
They also toned it down after everybody made fun of the trailer. So she doesn't even have that big eyes in
It's like,
the
no,
movie.
she has to have anime eyes, but, like, real.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to look like a fake person. Like, that's kind of the point, is like, she is a robot.
Sure.
Everybody knows she's she's not trying to hide it. She looks like a fucking weirdo.
But you think that they would figure it out when she has, like, blades and shit coming out of her arms?
That's later on. She gets upgrades as it's like a Metroid game. Like, she develops upgrades as she goes along.
All right, all right.
And also, you know what? Fuck it. The big eyes thing, it's hot. I thought it was hot.
All right, not going there.
Okay, number 4. I'm not gonna make bones about it. I thought it was hot. Number 4. Dragon Ball Evolution. I did not watch this movie because holy shit, it looked stupid as hell.
Well, we can kind of combine this one and the next one on the list, which is Mark Hamill's The Guyver.
I also did not watch The Guyver, though I didn't think it looked quite as stupid as hell.
No, that one has some charm, although it's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's got 90s charm.
Yeah, you know, it's like one of those things that you see, like, you know, like your friend in 4th grade has a VHS copy that they got from their uncle.
You see a cover like that, and you're like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
What is this even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it had charm, you know. It has Mark Hamill doing his thing. He's doing his Mark Hamill voice.
You gotta love that.
I think that the rubber suit that they use for the armor is, you know, it's a fair step above, like, your standard, like, Super Sentai villain of the week.
Sure.
So not high production value, but it doesn't look like objective trash.
Sure, but then don't you also feel like that is kind of authentic to the Super Sentai spirit?
Sure.
Yeah.
So very much in line with that. True.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put it, if we're ranking these, I would put it above Dragon Ball, because there was nothing redeeming about that Dragon Ball movie, and in fact, it was so bad that it made Toriyama unretire and come back and start doing Dragon Ball Super, because he's like, I can't let this be the last, like, officially produced piece of Dragon Ball media.
Even if I have to drag myself across glass, I will refuse to let that be Dragon Ball. Now, that's funny because you said the 90s aesthetic, kind of the charming 90s aesthetic of the Guyver, compared to, and maybe this is, again, like, because of who we are, millennials, you know, etc., we find the 90s stuff a little more, like, retro charm, whereas, like, the absolute death valley that was the 2000s, where we were still trying to, like, pretend like the CGI was like, wow, it's mind-blowing, it's really getting good. No, it was not ever good. In fact, it was, like, so repellent that it ruined movies that otherwise were good.
Well, okay, let's focus specifically on the Dragon Ball movie.
Sure,
here.
I was thinking of the Scorpion King, to be honest. but let's go to the Dragon Ball. When The Rock comes out at the end of that fucking Mummy movie, and it's The Rock in CG, I mean, that ruined so many people's nights. I mean, seriously. Anyway, the Dragon Ball shit was just as bad, but from second one.
Yes. Well, what I found interesting, egregious, incredibly egregious about it, was that they changed so much of the core plot, because they're not doing Dragon Ball Z. It's very much like...
No, it's not even Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball.
No, it's Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah.
And so they've adapted it to where Goku is an American teen in American high school.
Looks like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah. He's got some Green Day hair going on. some real American idiot Green Day hair going on.
Oh, yeah.
And he does Kung Fu, you know. They adapted all of that so that it takes place in and around an American high school. But then they said, no, Piccolo, no notes, Just put him in the movie as is. Green man with antenna.
Just color a guy green, throw him on screen.
Yeah.
It's not going to clash with the green screen we use for every scene.
Well, it's not Dragon Ball Z Piccolo. It is very much the villain Piccolo, who is the antagonist of the first season of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And he's an old green man with antenna from the moon, and he wants to conquer the world.
Oh fuck! It's so funny.
I forget. Get out all of the Journey to the West references. Goku is a teen now. He doesn't have a tail. Bulma is much older than him for some reason.
Well, she was older than him.
Not Bulma. Chi-Chi.
Okay, because Bulma was much older than him.
Well, no, Bulma's like the same age as him now.
Yeah, I mean that's weird.
I guess it makes sense that Bulma is Asian for some reason, but nobody else is.
I think that makes it weirder.
Also, she doesn't have blue hair.
And she's not from Capsule Corp, right?
Yeah.
There is no Capsule Corp.
Yeah, no, she's just another student at Goku's high school. It's just now also dawning me how weird it is that they're calling this white kid Goku.
Yeah, what? Isn't his name like Chris Goku? Why did they do that, at least? God, fucking awful.
All right, that's real bottom of the barrel American.
Yeah, let's move on, because this is basically the same setup as the Dragon Ball movie, because the Netflix Death Note movie, now a contemporary.
Okay, first of all, gotta say, love that Lakeith Stanfield. Love him and everything.
I mean, sure, I think he's very funny and weird. I think he's still, like, not a great L, because he has natural charm, and L doesn't. He's like a little fucking goblin freak.
Oh yeah.
Least of the problems, though.
I mean, that was his his undoing, I guess, is because he is so enjoyable to watch. He does have charisma, and like you said, L is kind of like a Costanza-esque personality.
He is like a weird alien thing, like almost like a Michael Jackson, but like a Sherlock Holmes Michael Jackson. Allegedly.
Allegedly Sherlock Holmes like.
But that's not even close to the problem with that movie. The problem with that movie is Light Yagami, and I think they changed it to like Light. What did they fucking change his name to? Something really bad.
Light Jackson.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Light Holmes. Something really bad. I can't remember.
Hold on, I'm having our producer look this up.
Okay, Jamie, can you pull that up? But his character in Death Note is the central engine for every single second of drama of Death Note. And the engine of that manga and show is that he is a fucking, like, steely-eyed, psycho mastermind. What? Did you look it up?
Yeah.
What is it?
Light Turner.
Light Turner.
By the way, RIP Tina Turner.
R.I.P. T-shirt, I was going to say Light Turner, like the Turner Diaries.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because in this version, he is a whiny incel school shooter type.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he gets the Death Note, because Willem Dafoe is like, you look like a kid who's going to shoot his school up. Why don't I give you the mass death machine?
Oh, man.
This movie fucking sucks for every possible reason you could imagine. And actually, like, continuing the role, the next one is Cowboy Bebop, which I guess we don't have that much to say because
neither of us watched it.
Neither of us watched it because the trailer was so insanely bad.
I don't care if this is gonna get taken out of context. Chop it up. Cowboy Bebop sucks.
Yeah.
No follow up on that statement.
No follow up on that statement. What's up, dude?
Our producer just walked into the room.
Hey.
That's good.
So after Cowboy Bebop, I wish I had more to say about that, but like, holy fucking shit, dude. After that is the Avatar movie, and I don't want to get into the argument about Avatar being anime. It's a fucking
it's-
cartoon for children.
It's anime enough to make it on this
perfectly
list
anime enough.
because Shyamalan did that movie.
Yes.
He's probably the biggest name director on this list.
Yes, someone I personally like. To be honest,
He's had his ups and downs.
Sorry, I like his movies, especially that one where the old lady's the devil in the elevator. What a great movie! Truly fantastic.
Well, I know you for many years you had that big poster of The Village on your wall.
I love The Village. In fact, I just talked about the chick who wrote Full Metal Alchemist is doing The Village, the anime, basically right now.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Extremely funny to me. What a Shyamalan-esque twist. I did not watch Avatar the movie because it was like 4 hours long and it looked absolutely dreary.
I did. I went to opening night of the Shyamalan Avatar movie.
Really sad to hear that.
Yeah, it was all the rage back in 2014. Oh,
Oh God, I don't want to think about
no,
that.
even earlier than that, like 2011 maybe.
Don't say that. I'm turning to dust.
Listen, I was hanging out with people who were like, "Oh, Avatar is like it's the best, man," and I was like pretty into the cartoon for a while. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did watch that.
You don't have to lie. I like that first run.
Yeah,
that second
it was
thing
decent.
was not as good.
Legend of Korra, I didn't really get into.
It was like whatever.
But I was actually kind of hype for the Avatar adaptation.
You're keyed up.
Yeah. And then I remember falling asleep about like an hour and 20 minutes in and missing like the last 40 minutes of it.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, yeah, people are starting to shuffle out of the theater, and I'm like, I don't feel like I missed that much.
When I watched the trailer, I was like, everything is blue. Why would they make that decision to make every single thing in the movie blue?
That was a mistake.
Yeah, somebody fucked up the color grading at the last second. I don't know what happened.
Well, you see, it was a Jerry Lewis-esque bumbling where M. Night was like walking past the editing bay, and there was some kind of slippery substance on the ground, and he tripped into a trash can, and it went up in the air, and it landed on his head, and then he walked onto a banana peel, and his elbow hit the blue dial.
Oh no, now it's permanent. We can't do it over.
Well, he hit the blue dial, and then he immediately tripped into the ship. He hit the ship button.
Release movie button.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it put the movie out into the theaters.
I gotta say, I feel bad for him because the exact same thing happened to Blade Runner 2049, but everybody thought it was great. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that Denis Villeneuve is so hot right now.
He really knows how to make something orange.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Or blue.
Or blue, one of the two. The next one is Edge of Tomorrow.
I didn't see that, did you?
I saw it. Now, this is, I think, I never got confirmation.
That was Tom Cruise movie.
It's the Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Now, I think this was a book that was turned into a manga that was turned into a American movie.
I think it was maybe a light novel.
Maybe.
I want to say it feels like light novel.
Are you saying light novels aren't books? Are we coming out hard on that?
Are you saying novellas are books?
I mean, I have my own bitching about word count discrimination. People are weird about it for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to wade into that culture war, but it was originally called something very stupid. I think it was something to kill.
No, it was Live, Die, Repeat.
No, that was the movie's other title.
Oh, that was the other title.
The original book is called like all you have is to kill or some shit. Not that. It was something very bizarre.
Okay.
You looking it up?
I'm looking it up.
He's looking it up. What is it?
All you need is kill.
All you need is kill.
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Edge of Tomorrow is a much better title. They salvaged it somehow. Live, Die, Repeat was the European title.
I like that better.
Live, Die, Repeat. I mean, it's very.
They didn't get no edge.
It's on the nose. I think that's the problem. It's very on the nose. That movie kicks ass. That's a fucking great ass movie. Fucking rules. Tom Cruise is a really weird choice, but he totally makes it work.
Yeah, it came out around the time that what was that other Neil Blomkamp movie that nobody watched? Oblivion with Matt Damon.
Elysium.
Elysium, yeah.
Yes.
It came out around the same time, and I was like, Yeah, I already felt they did me dirty on modern sci-fi with District 9, and I don't know, it passed me by.
You missed out because it's a death restart. I mean, it's one of the
It's a
most
death
classic.
loop. It's a death
It's
loop.
the death restart. It's fucking kicks ass. It's absolutely great. It's a video game.
The melancholy of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise Umia.
Tom Cruise and Mia. It fucking rules. It's a great movie. Since I couldn't really think of any others off the top of the dome, that brings us to Fist of the North Star, 1995, starring Craig Daniels.
My God, what a powerhouse of a little gem we found.
Now let's go down the cast.
God.
We've got Malcolm McDowell,
Greg Daniels,
Clint Howard,
Marvin Van Peebles,
Marvin Van Peebles. We've got Downtown Julie Brown.
Downtown Judy Brown.
Downtown Julie Brown. Who else?
Did I say Judy Brown?
You said Judy Brown. Fuck. Who else? There's an endless parade of hits.
We already said Clint Howard.
You could say it twice. I love Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. Say it 3 times.
Yeah, doesn't get his due. He should have come back in the finale and had like a topper, but I think he gets killed off screen. Unfortunately, the only bad part of the movie.
So, okay, what was going through my head the entire time we were watching this was, you remember like a month and a half ago when everyone was obsessed with, all those new art AI generators?
Yes.
And everyone was feeding stuff and like, oh, what does X look like as an 80s dark fantasy?
Yeah.
This is that exact thing, like, they made into a movie.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Like, but actually good.
It's
fucking
I don't know
rule.
if you look up some if we were to go to like Wall-E, is that one of them? I don't know.
Wall-E?
Yeah.
The Disney movie?
No. Well, yes, the Disney movie, but I think one of those.
Oh, you mean Dolly?
Yeah, Dolly.
The generator.
Yes, Dolly the generator.
Oh my God, you got close, I guess.
Actually, that would make a great Pixar movie. Dolly.
Yeah, Dolly.
About a robot that makes Pixar movies.
Not sad enough.
If you went to Dolly and said, give me Fist of the North Star 80s dark fantasy, it would just give you stills of this movie.
I mean, if you said like Dino De Laurentiis Fist of the North Star, like it would print out something very similar to this. Though Dino would not cast Greg Daniels at all. He would fucking hate Greg Daniels. He wants a manly man. No offense, Greg Daniels. I mean, he looks great.
He looks part.
Great. He's
voice,
constantly wet.
That's it's one anime that I would have watched the dub of.
Yeah, I would have preferred if like James Earl Jones had swung in and done the Vader thing.
So it's not an exact adaptation of Fist of the North Star, like we were saying.
It's not? Damn.
Well, you were saying it's more of like a reimagining, like a conglomeration.
Yes, it's
of
like
the idea of what Fist of the North Star is.
Yeah, it's what good people who adapt things do. They say like, what if this was a movie starring all white people? Like that is not Fist of the North Star. That is Fist of the North Star 1995 straight to DVD. No,
bold move
me,
to have
straight to VHS.
To have the main white dude be named Kenshiro. Still
didn't change the name. I wonder if there was
his Japanese girlfriend is named Julie.
I wonder what kind of discussions they were having in the room. I really have to like wonder about that.
They're probably asking where the Coke boy was.
You could have been like, let's call him Ken.
Yeah. Well, they credited him as Ken in the credits. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, no, when the credits were going, it just said Ken. But they never called him that. They always referred to him as Kenshiro.
Yep, they always called him
the
Kenshiro.
movie.
So somebody at the last second was like, it sounded really weird that we called Greg Daniels Kenshiro for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, or like we can't put the name Kenshiro spelled out like that. It's gonna confuse people. They'll not know what character it was.
Yeah, they'll be like, wait, was that one of the Asian people?
Yeah. We just gotta call him Ken.
Certainly not the weirdo fucking UK Brit, potentially New
People
Zealand.
stop listening after the first syllable anyway.
Yeah. Fucking very strange choice. On a small mountain of strange choices that add up to basically like the perfect way to adapt an
Yeah.
anime movie. I really think so. Like unironically, this is the way to fucking do it.
Well, okay. First off, let's clear up one thing. Yes, people, he does say the thing.
He says the thing almost immediately.
Yeah, for the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, they do not beat around the bush. Again, another choice I really respect because don't be cute with that shit. Why do
Well,
people have
I'm
to be
pretty sure
cute
that's
with that
how they
shit?
open up the manga as well. You know, they do the mysterious stranger walks into town and he starts a fight with some goon.
Sure, but you know if they made it now, it would be like buried in the after credit scene or some stupid shit like that.
Oh, sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about marvelizing it,
You know they would.
I don't want to.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
We got the perfect adaptation.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it's like we were saying before, it's Fist of the North Star is a Western, but Fist of the North Star is a Western run through, like, the kaleidoscopic hallucination of, like, a weird Japanese guy.
Well,
In the
is,
80s.
it is a Western where the main character is Kung Fu Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Mel Gibson Road Warrior.
Yes. And placed into, like, a comic book next to Devil Man.
Actually, he even has the same costume as the Road Warrior.
He does wear the leather vest for quite a long
even with
time.
the metal shoulder pad.
With the metal shoulder pad.
Yeah.
And the studs and everything. Except he doesn't wear a shirt.
No.
'Cause he's ripped as
Well,
shit.
because how else would you see his awesome scar, like constellation
His
scar?
constellation scar, and also he has pecs that are larger than Mel Gibson's
Well, he's
head.
got a 16-pack.
Yeah.
He's got that 16-pack.
He fucking
on.
looks great. And Mel Gibson is a heavy drinker.
Not back then. I don't know
Allegedly.
the last time you watched...
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know the last time you watched Road Warrior. He was looking pretty good in that movie.
Not like Greg Daniels.
Okay.
He was no Greg Daniels, my friend.
Yeah, he was also doing a better Australian accent, though.
He was doing a better accent for sure. I gotta give it up. But they take that fever dream of a manga and they make it as arch and like gothic romantic as possible. Like everything is cranked up so hard. Every possible moment is so dramatic. Even people's facial expressions are so broad. Every time he punches some guy, he's punching them as hard as he fucking can. And then, like, his veins on his forehead and his neck are popping out. Even if it's just an NPC.
Well, these dudes, not just the fight scenes, like, they be emoting. They are hamming it up.
Yeah.
They need some grilled cheese and eggs to go with that ham.
We've got fucking Rufio jumping around, and he is so dedicated to being the weird sidekick kid.
Love that Dante Bosco.
Yeah,
Back to the Avatar connection.
He's killing it. He's killing it all over the place. They're all killing it. Clint Howard rides in on a motorcycle halfway through the movie, just starts unloading a fucking revolver on people.
That was at the beginning of the movie too. That was first 10 minutes.
Oh right, that was
he
right
just
at the
rolls
beginning.
into town on a moped and starts randomly shooting
There's
people.
no explanation. He just rides up, starts shooting women and children.
He's just a goon.
He's laughing it up. We have no explanation for this. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've been
Beautiful.
trying to think of other movies that had the same kind of energy, and it's actually reminded me a lot of the '90s Crow movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Just cool guy shit.
Cool guy shit.
Just cool guy shit. That's all that matters. Well, I was saying
R.I.P.
throughout.
Brandon Lee.
R.I.P. allegedly.
Allegedly.
I was saying throughout the movie, I was talking about Conan because like. Conan is a fantastic movie, and it is really a guy just doing cool guy shit in a really cool way. I mean, they put a lot of effort into making the plot.
Well, you know
sort of coherent.
that first Conan movie with Arnold. That's I think that is the best Berserk movie we're ever gonna get.
I kind of think Conan is a Fist of the North Star movie for the most part.
Yeah,
because he is wandering through a wasteland, punching guys as hard as he possibly can. He punches that camel to death. About halfway through the movie.
Except, I don't know. Conan fucks. That is very much.
Conan fucks.
Kenshiro,
sure.
he's aggrieved.
Also,
he's got a lot
can
on
I
his
just
mind.
hold on? Can I say about Conan? Because saying that makes it sound crass, but Conan is a gentleman. It's made very clear in the movie that he fucks, but he is a gentleman about
just because he's a barbarian doesn't mean he's not a gentleman.
He's only a barbarian by circumstance. He is a gentleman at heart. He is a poet and a scholar in his soul, and a king of men.
He is a barbarian on the character sheet, but he is a gentleman by trade.
Yes, he absolutely is. When they breed him with the slave women, he's really considerate of their feelings. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So the point being, like, when I say, like, Dino De Laurentiis, that is the frame of reference you should be approaching Fist of the North Star. And I'm very sad that a movie where Malcolm McDowell gets shot in the head after levitating 6 feet in the air was panned almost universally by critics. I feel sad that we live in that world. I think there's...
I am angry we live in a world where this was panned. Those goddamn Rob Zombie Halloweens got some kind of following. If we're talking about Malcolm McDowell movies.
Wait, was he in those Halloween movies?
He's the Loomis. He plays Loomis in
Malcolm McDowell is the Loomis in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies?
You never saw those?
Fuck no.
You never saw that anime?
I love Halloween, but I'm not going to watch a Rob Zombie movie.
Smart man.
Yeah, I just want to point out, let's see, Best Picture, 1995. First of all, Robert Zemeckis won Best Director for Forrest Gump. Dog shit. Nothing compared to fucking Fist of the North Star. Nothing.
Well, I mean, let's not talk about the Academy's taste. You know, there's no real fairness going on in that.
Well, these are the people who panned this movie, so I just want to call them out because Best Original Screenplay, Pulp Fiction. No, nothing compared to Fist of the North Star. Absolutely not.
I mean, Fist of the North Star has some pretty gratuitous violence, but fuck that Quentin Tarantino guy.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Legends of the Fall for Best Cinematography, that's hard to argue with. I'm not gonna...
Hold on, no. Because remember that fucking shot that I made you pause the movie at?
Oh, right. That's right. That cinematographer did decide to go hard for like 2 seconds. Like, he really fucking let loose.
He did that shot and he's like, alright, we're just gonna get every shot in like single takes.
I mean, the shots he had where it was just a couple seconds
single cut edits.
Yeah, just a couple seconds of like a guy's head bubbling up like some kind of like overheating egg. Really, really great stuff. The amount of restraint to not just hold on a practical effect like that, but cut out of it. Not
only to cut out of it, but to cut back 5 or 6 times within a 35-second period.
Yeah. So I think, I think I've made my point. Forrest Gump, you're dog shit. You're nothing compared to Fist of the North Star. Forrest Gump is trash compared to Fist of the North Star, 1995, straight to VHS.
Best original score should have gone to Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, I also have to say, like...
That ending credit music, that, like, lo-fi, that was, like, some beats to study to shit.
Fantastic. Actually, let's see what Best original song was Elton John in 95 for The Lion King, so I guess that's a little hard. It's a little hard. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I mean, that goes pretty hard.
Okay.
It does go hard. It's not even my favorite song in that movie, but it goes pretty hard.
That scene does that of that horny lion.
Yeah, there's some horny lines.
Yeah.
Man, those lions be fucking. What was up with that? So basically, Robert Zemeckis, kill yourself. You're nothing compared to who even directed this movie. Do we even remember?
No,
who directed this movie? I don't want to move on until I shout out this dude.
Fist of the North Star. Fist of the Star.
Fist of the North Star, as I've been calling it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. There was fucking practical effects.
Yeah,
zombies.
we have prosthetics.
Oh, okay. So, shout out Tony Randell.
Right.
Shout out to Tony Randell.
What else has this dude done?
Apparently, he directed Hellraiser 2.
Of course he did.
He did the visual effects for Escape from New York. Amazing. He did something called The Hybrids Family, which sounds like it should be canceled, to be honest. You're going to be canceled.
Just a family that likes Priuses.
He was the editor on Camel Spiders.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. Love that anime.
He edited Dino Croc versus Super Gator.
Does that count as a kaiju movie?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Dino Croc? Are you kidding me?
He's a dino and a croc.
Yeah.
Except aren't crocodiles basically already dinosaurs? Like, they've been unchanged for millions of years.
Do I look like a doctor?
Very far from it. Trust me, no one would ever mistake you
I don't think
for
anyone.
any kind of educated individual.
I'm extremely...
You look like a guy who's on an anime podcast.
That's like one of the meanest things you've ever said to me. He directed Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Okay. Oh, shit, really?
He directed
I like that show.
Power Rangers in Space.
Oh, wow.
He directed Amityville 1992, It's About Time. The one with time stuff.
Sure.
He directed... he was the uncredited... I don't know how this happens. He was the uncredited director of DEF CON 4.
I've not heard of half of this stuff.
Yeah, this is a lot of... These are deep cuts.
Yeah.
I will admit. Tony Randell, I salute you. You did the best
anime adaptation.
The best live-action American anime adaptation made specifically for VHS tapes, starring Michael McDowell, Downtown Julie Brown,
Michael McDowell.
You fucking rule.
That was great. Yeah, love it, dude.
I cannot believe how good that movie was.
A for effort.
Absolutely. And we were looking specifically for something to trash on, too, so I feel like, man, we fucked up. I got egg on my face.
I like to think that if we were to find this guy today, assuming he's still alive, if we could talk to this guy today, I'd like to think that if we asked him about this movie, he's like, I've never heard of that in my life.
I have no memory of the year 1995. You're gonna have to explain some things to me.
Yeah, no, I've never read an anime.
I don't know what you're talking about. Please step away from me. You look like you're on an anime podcast.
Security.
I think we covered it basically. I mean, that's...
Oh, no. There's one thing that we did not cover.
Oh, shit.
That I think we really want to touch on.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right.
And that is the prosthetics for the constellation scars.
Oh, yes. Sure. Go ahead. Run us down.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to go look up a picture because they're very funny. Apparently it's been talked about over the years, but they used what appeared to be fresh out of the package condoms.
Unrolled, fresh condoms.
Yeah.
Just glued them to his chest.
No, rolled condoms.
Did I say unrolled?
Yeah.
That would be even weirder.
Yeah.
Maybe they stuffed the squids
They just stuck them on this dude's chest. They shaved him down and stuck him on his chest and like applied a little bit of the VFX putty, and they called it a day. And it totally does not look like he has condoms stuck on his chest. It totally looks like a good effect in some scenes with specific lighting.
Okay, well, It does look like he has condoms on his chest.
Yeah,
I can't go that far, but it does look. It looks fine.
At least in one frame of the movie, it looks fine.
Yeah, I also want to point out that the white man who played Shin, he is the guy from Saw. He is the detective.
He is the guy? Okay, you called that. Nice.
He is the detective from Saw, and he apparently knows Kung Fu.
He just knows Kung Fu.
I didn't know that he never does any Kung Fu in Saw, which I think is a huge missed opportunity because he looked like he was doing a pretty good job.
You think if he went to the director and was like, hey, I know Kung Fu. Like, you should put that in the movie.
I could Kung Fu fight some other cops, or maybe, maybe the doll.
Oh, what if he puts me in a saw trap, and the saw trap is I have to fight some ninjas?
Okay, let me pitch you this. He drops me into a gladiator pit. These guys jump out, and I'm just doing Kung Fu. I'm just doing the Kung Fu all over the place. I'm dodging saw traps. Maybe there's some needles on the ground that step on my feet. I don't know. I get tetanus from it. But I'm doing really cool moves the whole time. They're like, you can direct Saw 12. How about that? I really cannot. I cannot say.
Did you ever see that Chris Rock? You ever see that Chris Rock?
Yes,
Saw?
I watched. First of all, that's Spiral from the Book of Saw. It doesn't count. It's not a mainline Saw movie,
okay.
And it is one of the worst movies ever made.
Spin-off?
It is a spin-off. It is a death spiral, but a horror death spiral, and really representative of the horror death spiral because it is very close to the bottom. It is
Yeah.
one of the worst movies ever
Oh
made.
no. Oh no.
Chris Rock is absolutely god awful, and he keeps forgetting that he's in a movie, so he just kind of riffs his weird Chris Rock stand-up bits that don't work in the context of a horror movie in any way. He's a cop, a cab. Cops shoot his dad because he's black, but apparently that's fine because he's also a cop. A cab again.
No, that made me want to be a cop harder.
Yeah. It's just one of the most dog shit movies ever. There's not that many really great Saw movies, but every single one of them is better than that.
Well, all right.
Holy fucking shit, I hate that movie. Now you've really brought me down. I was riding such a high off Fist of the North Star, and now you got me thinking about the Chris Rock fucking Saw movie.
Coming up on the next episode, people, we're turning into a Sawcast.
I mean, I could talk forever about Saw. I love Saw.
We're gonna start the Saw arc of the anime death spiral.
Yeah, I mean, the little guy is such a good mascot character. Like, he really does feel like Nekudama.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a Saw movie that's just happened to a bunch of high school kids yet.
There's some high school kids mixed in there. Some kids too.
No,
They don't shy away from it.
They kill them kids.
They kill some kids.
Listen, let me be clear. We killed some kids.
We killed some kids. God damn it. Yeah, that's I don't know. I loved Fist of North Star so much it just caught me way off guard. I can't believe more people aren't talking about this movie.
Yeah, go watch it. Go talk about it more. It's on YouTube, people.
It's fucking on YouTube? Like, what? I don't know.
It's just there. They put it up.
Why do people talk about the first Mortal Kombat movie with such affection, and they're leaving Fist of the North Star just off to the side?
It's a crime.
I hate you. I hate all of you.
Well, I mean, let's not be too mean. They did have Christophe Lambert as
all
a
right.
write-in.
You're right. I hate to be so rude to you, my best friends and best listeners. I really hope.
We're not trying to step on any Mortal Kombat toes here.
Yeah, and I hope me constantly telling you to kill yourself doesn't stop you from listening to the next episode.
I don't see why it would.
I mean, I don't take it back. I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But I do hope you tune in. I think maybe next time, I don't know, are we gonna talk about cartoons?
Yeah, we'll probably talk about some cartoons.
We really gotta watch some anime, I think. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna be catching up on all the shit I missed while I was
hey,
on vacation.
That Solo Leveling anime, that's out and
we'll have to
out and proud now.
Maybe we can Rochambeau for who has to watch that. I don't know. I've already read most of it, so I feel like I should get out of watching the anime.
Okay, but I watched Cheat Skill in Another World.
Yeah, but we made a gentleman's agreement about
Okay,
that,
all
and
right,
you're still
right.
behind on the.
All right. Okay, I think that we've said what we've had to say here. Go watch Fist of the North Star.
Nothing I could say could do the movie justice anyway, so yeah, why don't you go back and report back to us on the couch? We really appreciate you sitting down and watching this movie with us. I think you also clearly enjoyed it as much as we did. We had a really good time, best friend and listener. I guess we'll talk about more cartoons next time we see you.
All right. Bye. Anime opinions, giving them, taking them.
Not taking. No.
No. We do not take outside opinions.
We're not going to be taking any opinions. In fact, if you offer opinions, I will mock them.